We rolling. Okay, let's roll.
We rolling?
We rolling.
We rolling. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday night, December the 9th, and you are now tuned in to Sador Presents an Open Conversation. Each and every Thursday, yeah, we holler. We trying to make it happen. Let's work, y'all. You ready?
We ready.
No, it's always a co-host.
Let's get it.
I ain't by myself. You know who I got. He gonna be the loudest in the crowd. He gonna be the last out the limousine. With the biggest arrival. My man to the right that makes it all happen. He's gonna slow it down just to make it fast. Who we with?
I would do it. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, and I'm not in the building.
He's actually in the car.
But there it is.
And you know who else we got? The man whose numbers needs no letters and needs no introduction. The man behind the board, not number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, but number 5.
What's up, y'all? How y'all feel? Welcome to Open Conversation Show. I'm back here getting technical stuff situated. Look, trying to see where Simply D at. He said he's trying to get on. I'm trying to help him out. But what's going on, y'all? We're gonna have a good show. You know, welcome again to this Thursday Open Conversation Show.
Well, some of y'all asking where the rest of the co-hosts are. I'm asking the same question.
Jay on. You can't see her?
Nope.
Say something.
What's up, comedy family? I'm right here.
Okay, now there you go. Now, you know I ladies there
What's up, baby? Babies.
who stole the show last week. She bringing all the fire and the energy.
Huh?
Y'all don't want a margarita. Y'all don't want a Don Julio. Y'all don't want a cocktail. Y'all want a J. Monet. Bring it in, girl.
Woo, woo. What's up, family? I'm so happy to be here. I'm out here in Vegas having a fantastic time. Just being blessed. And it's good to touch base with y'all and just keep it normal, keep it regular, sharing the loves and the laughs, and enlightening these people that they can get through their day and not be so upset. They can have an open conversation on Sador Radio. Talk to us.
Hey, real quick, I want to say something real quick before Simply D come on. We got so much stuff going on. I guarantee that Simply D clicked on one of the intertwined reading links. That's why he ain't on the Open Conversation link. Because he talking about he backstage on the Zoom. I'm like, backstage? What the hell link you? Look, I guarantee that's what happened.
Why
Look,
the hell
I'm
you
like,
got a Chicago hat on, though?
huh? Oh, because it matched with the shirt. I don't go by teams. I go by colors. Look,
Damn.
you might see me wear any type of, you know, I don't, you know.
Well, I'm
I
glad.
don't, you know what? I don't know.
Let's find out what we got going on Sador Radio. The time is 6:10. You're listening to Open Conversation Presents. Let's find out what's going on. To my lady, J. Monet. How's your week? What you doing? Where you at? What's going on?
Man, I am presently, again, I am in Las Vegas, Nevada. Came down here with Sauce in the City, Miss Brenda Brown, to do a benefit fundraising for Bay Area Arts and Entertainment. That's out California. Just building bridges and networking. Hit a few spots, got booked on the spot. Hey, high five, God. I'm opening up for Coco Brown tonight, and I'm chilling with Nikki Carr. I'm in here just chilling, enjoying, all in a good mood, grateful, blessed. What?
Shout out Coco Brown. Shout out my girl, Nikki Carr. It is wonderful that you are with the ladies.
Yes.
Racing to them. To those that don't know, those are ladies in comedy who are definitely pioneers, who are definitely trendsetters, who definitely have paved the way for people like me and Jay Monet. So
Yes.
Shout out to the wonderful Nikki Carr, and believe it, the funny and hilarious Miss Coco Brown. So,
Yay.
listen, I'm pleased that you out there with the ladies. So enjoy all the knowledge, and safe travels back once you come back. So
Thank you, sis.
you all, where them scissors at? You ready to cut that shit tonight? You okay? She got them, so she ready. So we ready
Look,
for
I
her.
brought them from Philly. I had them in a suitcase. I was like, wait, when I get to security, they're not gonna let me bring them through. Man, no problems.
You trying to go to jail.
I came right through with no problem. I
So
forgot they was in the bag. I forgot.
You got them. Fast lane. Slow it down just long enough so we can find out what you've been doing, what you're gonna do, and how you been doing it.
Oh man, your boy is sick, under the weather, playing it up and down the East Coast all week. I was wearing shorts yesterday and today. I'm wearing sweats and a damn and a hoodie.
Okay.
So your boy is sick right now, but it is what it is. You know, slow motion better than no motion.
Hey.
Sound like you walked into a hollow house.
It's
That's hell spooky. In this video.
it ain't hollow.
Okay, Mark 5, what you been doing? And how's my birthday twin?
She good. She good. Other than that, working. Look, it just seemed
Okay.
like we just was here though. When you work so much, time goes so fast. It just seemed
Yes.
like we was here like 2 days ago. It was a week
Did we
passed that fast.
On the plane, on the
Huh?
train. Last week, did we address the ding dongs on the train?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, you
Okay.
said something about why you
Okay.
got. Hey, that's
Ding
not funny.
dong.
Well, I see in
Okay.
the kitchen laughing.
Okay.
Ah,
So where's the little feet? You got any little feet running around you?
Nah, they upstairs being the pain behind getting big too fast.
Okay, that's that thing about life.
She gonna
So
say ding dong, ding dong. See why you get her started?
okay. Hey,
Look, you got
Hey.
her in the background talking about ding dong, ding dong.
there you
Look,
go. Just tasty cake either.
yeah, that's crazy. It never surprises me when you ride public transportation. What you gonna see?
mhm.
So what's
Never
been
surprised.
Stay in the news? What you think? Let's see what's been going on in the news lately here in the city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia. We still the same. People still alive. We still breathing. Anything good going on down that you can just think of? Something good. Just get some good news.
Well, they found everybody got that alert. I'm sure that alert one early morning. I walked in the house and all of a sudden I'm like, yo, what the hell? And about
Yeah.
the little girl, I think that got kidnapped or something. They found her. I saw in the news, so that's a good thing.
After her mama left her in the car while she ran in to get some pizza,
That's what happened.
and they took the car.
Wait a minute, because I ain't hear
How
the
old
story.
was
I
the
just-
child?
5.
Okay. Hey.
So she back.
they stole a car with the little girl in it, and then they found the car and the little. Did they find the car? They just put the girl out and kept the
They put
car.
Girl out.
Okay, that was good.
I'm mad at putting these babies out in the middle
That's
of no
good. Well, they could have dropped off at the police station. Look,
right.
dropped off at the police station at least. Damn.
So it was like she
Yeah.
wanted to just pick up the food. Was the food already done? And
It
she
was
was just
ordered.
going to pick it up. Was the child asleep already? Was the
Oh.
child up? Like,
We
I ain't
don't-
gonna be here. I got 4 daughters. It's been a few times I done left them in the car and ran in the store. I done locked them in the car. It is what it is. But I gotta be honest, I have done it. And I've
Right.
sometimes wished that somebody would have stolen the car and the kids.
I
I
took
would have wished it.
my godson, jumped in the front seat and started driving.
What?
So we don't do that no more. He was about 3. Jumped in the
Right.
front seat, car in gear.
And it
started
just
going-
rolled. He couldn't touch the pedals, right?
yeah. And he was trying to touch that pedal, but we wasn't letting that happen. I see our other co-host just popped in. He just started walking in the scene. You know what's
Mhm.
up? Just simply Mr. D.
It is I am he, it is me, Simply D. I hate catching the damn train. I hate it.
We just got first talking about. You ain't seen no.
People on here smoking. I mean, I got to deal with this shit. Excuse my French. Smoking, doing drugs, getting high. I mean, I hate
Wait,
catching the train.
don't walk so fast. Let our viewers, listeners, at least catch the opposite of the city in the background. You walking all fast.
You breaking up, Dark. I heard you, but you was going in and out. Show the view. Where you at? Show the view. Simply D. It popped on.
Oh, beautiful.
As Dark Child said, Philadelphia.
You know what's crazy though? If you look at that view, you wouldn't think that the city is the way it is though.
Right, that's
'Cause it
beautiful.
Don't look all nice. Look.
Oh, I miss Philly.
Yeah, you be back.
Hey, Simply, you out there on public transportation. You got me. It's given to, hey, bruh, it's public. You gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with the public. I'm sorry.
You know,
Get your
no,
limo.
but they claim they got stickers on the doors. We have laws. No eating, no drinking, no smoking, etc., etc., etc. How come nobody follow the fucking rules?
What train was you on?
You know?
Oh.
Why you don't follow? Where accept the police at?
Look. What train was you on?
Hiding.
The DL.
Look, you just missed our beginning of the show. We was talking about the L. Just be
It's
glad you ain't
absolutely
running to. Look. Just be glad you ain't running to no dildos.
Oh.
Look.
Listen,
It's ridiculous.
so last week we talked about this new variant of the Omarion of COVID. And Simply D is outside with no mask on. Now, if you come back,
I just took it off. I just got off the train.
if you start pop locking and finger popping, we know you got that Omarion.
Oh, Lord.
Nigga, if you start acting like B2K, we gonna know what's up. You started doing brown moves. Why he look like he lost in his own city?
I'm not lost. I hate meeting people. I really do.
All right, leave them prostitutes alone.
Ha ha.
Her name is Mary Kay. Leave her alone.
Oh, that's a Korean chick. Oh, I gotta go see her.
Oh, okay. Korean chick. What's up? That's who you was meeting?
Yeah, my daughter. I'm getting ready to take her to dinner for her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Nice.
Today, birthday. Well, happy birthday. Today's my cousin's birthday. And we're still celebrating. So happy birthday to your daughter. Happy birthday to my cousin. And shout out. When I get off the radio, I'm gonna call you back. Cuz you all right? Oh, okay. Call you back. Yeah, so her birthday, your birthday, my birthday, everybody's birthday. So, did y'all hear anything? Did you hear on the news, Jay, or Simply D, or Fast Lane that the city of Philadelphia turned down money to get help to curb the gun violence in the city?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
No.
I did not hear that.
They said we don't have a problem.
Oh, really?
That's the district attorney's take on it, because his plan is actually working right now.
Well, let's tell it to the 503 people that are dead.
So what is this plan? Why you chew and your lips move faster than a mother?
You said, what was that, Dark?
What was the
What?
plan? Like, what's the plan?
They don't have a way of controlling the violence. So if we wipe ourselves out, then they can rebuild this city into what they want it to be, which is an upper class city, and they can get the us coloreds out of here.
All the colors?
The coloreds.
Okay.
Colors. The colors.
Coloreds.
They're gonna get the coloreds out. They trying to work with
It's
the
color
colors.
I don't know which colors they get. Oh, Jay, be careful, but your scenery.
Yo,
You starting to break
I had
up.
to come outside. He had me scared. You know, I'm like 3 hours behind y'all. I said, it's dark outside, Jesus. So I had to come outside and get some light to make
thought
sure
you-
it wasn't
I thought-
nighttime. Simply had me nervous. I thought I slept through the day.
I thought you was looking for the weed man.
No, not in this complex. That's a few over. Not where these folks at. Not
Well,
these
then you
folks.
should have been on the L train with me because that's what they were smoking.
Mm. It's cool. You don't puff pass in today's time. Then you just hear the woman talk about the variant. You get
Yeah.
what? You better do
So
it to
do we
yourself or don't
smoke-
do it at all. Like everything
Do-
else. Keep
do
your
we
hands
smoke-
to yourself.
Do weed smokers still puff and pass?
No, he looked like he was
Um,
smoking all by himself. He wasn't passing enough.
Okay.
I mean, I even looked at him
A
a few
few
times.
people do.
Like he could have offered. I looked at him a few times. He could have offered.
But why?
I'm just saying, if it was puff pass.
If you are with people, like people are comfortable with their people. So as far as comedians and things like that, it may be one or two people that you normally rock with. So with them, you feel comfortable. You may not feel comfortable with anyone else. And then you still have some people where definitely know they're not going to share. So it just kind of depends upon who's out and what people feel. And then sometimes just real is real. Some people don't have any darn thing. So they looking for anybody that got something because their pockets is empty. So you can puff and pass. And the person that may pass to you may give it to you, but they don't want it back. So they like, you know
So
what, you
are
go
we
ahead and
smoking-
keep it.
Are weed smokers not concerned with the COVID?
Are people that's having sex not concerned with the COVID or with HIV or any other STD? We're talking about people. It don't matter what it is. It's about people caring about themselves and what's best for them and for other people that they're dealing with. It doesn't matter if it's necessarily weed. People
If you
don't
smoke
care.
weed, you don't catch COVID. People that smoke weed don't catch COVID.
Wow.
Because the THC that's in the marijuana fights the COVID. Say, let me stop. It sounded good though, and kidding.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, everybody was listening to that.
I
Look,
was.
it sounded good for.
To all our listeners, and you don't have to divulge whether you smoke or don't smoke. The question is, do people that smoke marijuana care, or are they concerned about catching the COVID? Because when I last looked at it, see, we smoked reefer, and our reefer, we licked the top paper, put it down in the little rolling thing, closed the lid, and it rolled it for us. These kids nowadays lick it, gnaw the stems out of it, all that. I mean, give it to somebody to smoke. Are people concerned about catching the COVID that smoke weed? Do they even think about it? Jay made a point. Some people out here just want to smoke. They don't even care who they smoke with. That's crazy.
Well, you got some people that are drinks. I mean, the same thing. You can go for drinking. People are drink behind each other. People out here just meeting for the first time, kissing each other with the tongue down their throats. So, I mean, it still kind of goes back to the same thing. If you would kiss somebody that you just met, not knowing if they healthy or not, you'll drink behind them, you'll smoke behind them, you'll eat behind them. Ooh, taste this. Right on the same fork with no problem.
I don't know where they from. Look,
Every time I
sorry.
watch people roll a L and pass it to somebody, it just turns my stomach. And then they take the little lighter and burn it. Because they're
killing
talking
the
about
germ.
nigga, all the spit in the inside.
Oh, Lord.
Nasty.
Look, you gonna have a couple people thinking now. Like, yo, everybody got to roll their own.
We ain't even about it. Hey, Simply D. Now that we on this talking about this stuff that people are doing. I know you got a dum-dum for us today. I know you got a dum-dum for us.
You muted, bro. You muted. You muted. You muted. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. He can't hear me. We can't hear you.
We gonna come back to that dum-dum when he fix it, and we'll be all right. Fast lane.
Yo.
Slow so we understand.
Say what?
Bring it in fast, slow so we can understand.
Listen. People that smoke weed don't care about COVID. First of all, they don't even care what's in the weed. So they definitely ain't gonna care whether they catch COVID or not. Most people that I've talked to, they don't care. They don't care about that. They don't believe that shit exists. They believe COVID is something that's made up, that really is not out here like that. And so you can't convince somebody that already have a foolish way of thinking to change their thoughts, because the evidence speaks for itself. Look at all these bodies that done died over a year and a half, 2 years, almost 2 years. We're not even 2 years into this. And millions of people have died from it. People don't care. Just like when AIDS came out, HIV AIDS came out, more people had sex, unprotected sex, when they found out that it was out there than they did before they knew it was out there. They don't care. You can't convince a fool to think logically.
That's true. So last week on the show, we were talking about real estate and racism.
Wait, we gonna just drop that there? We gonna just let him have say, and we're not gonna continue to open this up? What?
Oh, good.
What? Slow down, go fast. Slow down, go fast. What? How dare you generalize people that smoke marijuana have a foolish way of thinking? I don't think that that's true. There are some people that are foolish and they happen to smoke. However, you have some of the most intellectual minds, and they will honestly say it comes from cannabis, whichever way that they take it in. So again, the bottom line is about caring about yourself and what's good for you and what works for you. You know, there's a lot of people I know that do not smoke. I know that they do not drink, and they're a bunch of behinds. I really want to cuss and call them another name, but they're a real bunch of behinds, and they need to drink or smoke or do something. And I'm not trying to have them not be sober. However, you have a lot of people that feel as though they're sober, they're a little bit better, and they effed up in their own way. Why? Because we all fall short of the glory. And God says there's no sin that's greater than another. It's only we as people that want to decide, you do this and I don't do it, so I'm better than you. Bullshit, put that aside. We all fall short. So we got to look at each other, try to uplift each other. And if it's something that you do that I don't want to do, I don't need to take part in it, but I ain't got to tear you apart. I'm going to let you do what you're doing over there because it worked for you. Like whatever I'm doing works for me. And that comes to the food, to the dieting, to all of that. We're so fast to put judgment out. As much as we say we don't judge and we don't care if somebody judge us, it's a lie. It's a lie. Because we're so quick to say what somebody should or shouldn't be doing. We half the time, and it's not just to you, my brother, it's to us and myself included. We're not living the life that we're trying to project others to live. And that's real shit. So whether it's lying, dying, smoking, fornication, adultery, like it's a whole long list, talking, backbiting, gossiping, whatever, we need to get it straight and not just point fingers and just generally say what everyone is, because that's definitely false. I promise you. I promise.
So why would that say that they smoking weed makes them more intelligent? I think my opinion is that smoking weed just gives them the confidence to say what they want to say.
It may work for some people. However, for the people that I've spoken with and that I know, they feel as though they're more creative. So again, I don't know the purpose of why cannabis is here. I don't know why God put it here, but I know there is a purpose for it. Now, we may misuse it I will say that. However, there is a purpose for it. And some people, they are healed by it. So there's a reasoning. I don't know what it is. I just feel as though whoever take it, they're just foolish and dumb. Like, that's bullshit. There's a lot of people that don't take nothing and they're assholes. Plain and simple.
But,
You need to calm down and get it together. They're assholes.
but you kind of got away from what we were talking about. What we were talking about was people that smoke and pass. It's not about, because anybody smoke, people smoke all the time. But people that smoke and pass without taking precautions, you know, and just passing it off to the next person, you passing in a circle with COVID out here, and this COVID is real. It's not about people smoking, because people going to smoke. People going to always smoke. And you're right, some very brilliant minds have smoked. But you got people out here that's smoking, that's passing it, and not even taking precautions. They ain't even asking, yo, did you get tested, anything? Nothing. They just passing the bud, passing the circle.
Real quick.
That is so true.
I guess.
Go ahead.
I guess is on, right? And so because I want to wrap that topic up, two things real quick before I introduce it. I think what it is we're talking about smoking responsibly with everything that's going on. It's not about smoking weed. It's about more so just being responsible about how you smoking weed and how you go about not just smoking weed. I'll touch on what Jay said, sex, talking to people, treating people, judging people, all that. We need to be more responsible about everything, point blank, period. As far as the marijuana and the THC and the CBD, I'll break it down real quick since this is something that I deal with. THC is one thing, CBD is another. It's both in the marijuana plant. CBD helps the body heal. That's the medical part of the marijuana. THC is the part that, oh, it makes me hungry, it makes me like hallucinate and all that type stuff. So that's why they say that marijuana is a healing. That's why they say that marijuana is a healing plant, because they're both put into one. A lot of times the medical field, what they do is they take the CBD out of the marijuana plant, and that's the healing part of the plant. So when you say that it helps people, that's the part that helps people. THC more so is the part that people enjoy, that makes them high, that all that good stuff. So on that note, let me introduce Miss Angela Smith that came on. Unmute yourself, Angela, because I don't want to run over our time. You're not, unmute yourself. We can't hear you yet. You're listening to Sador Radio, open conversation show here every Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. For now. In 2022, we're probably going to take it to a 2-hour show. Tonight's topic with Miss Angela, we're going to talk about how the community centers, how different school programs have been taken out. Is that one of the reasons why it's causing so many problems with children, and the disconnect with more so having things to do for children? So Angela Smith, please introduce yourself and let our listeners and our viewers know a little bit about yourself real quick.
I'm Angela M. Smith. Can you hear me, first of all? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm Angela M. Smith. I'm a committee person. I'm a community activist. I am all kinds of things. I'm an author, and I'm definitely about the community and political. And as Mark just said, the playgrounds and everything, there's not enough going on to sustain the amount of children that we have to do things within the playgrounds, as far as programming and community things. And there aren't enough community people coming out to make things really happen for certain age groups. Can you hear me?
So yeah, we can hear you. We listen to you. We just let you talk. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let me ask you real quick. As far as with, I know you said with people coming out and different things of that sort, do you
Mhm.
feel as though that people lost interest in that whole thing because of the programs that's been cut from the city? Like I remember the street cleaning, and they used to give trash bags out and clean up the
Right.
community, and I don't see that no more like that.
Okay, actually, they still give out trash bags. They still give out the rakes, the brooms, and everything else. The people aren't coming out. That would be part of the problem. Within a community, sometimes you see maybe 5 people doing a cleanup on a block versus the whole block participating. You'll see at the playground, like now, the playgrounds have a bunch of leaves. We're looking for teams and different people to come out and help out because it's your community, but they're not there for whatever reason. So I don't want to say like it's a hand in hand thing. It's one part is the community. They're not really coming out. They claim they don't know what's going on at their local rec centers, but they're also sitting home and not utilizing their local rec centers.
That's what
like good example at Sturgis Playground. I do bingo on Tuesday nights. I do the walking club on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Ask me how many people come out. I put it up on neighborhood. There's a local neighborhood app that you can put up different flyers and things going on in your community. In September, I did a women's empowerment. In October, I did a women's breast cancer walk. In November, we did the turkeys for 175 families. Now, the turkeys, yes, the meals go, but event-wise, people claim they don't know what's going on in their communities. But when we're giving away free food or something, people show up. So you do know what's going on. They're making a choice not to participate. So that would be part of the problem.
And I know you can't tell me this answer, but as far as what you think, what do you think it is that people aren't, like, I remember growing up in Abbotsford, I knew every community leader. I can name them like off the bat because they were involved. Do you feel as though, and it's not knocking or taking anything away from the people that are, but do you feel as though we don't have enough community activists, strong community activists, I should say, that's not really putting in the work, putting in getting out?
I would agree. Let me tell you how it goes. It's normally the block captain. Is the ward leader. Let's start there. It's the ward leaders. Then there are committee people that actually run for office. We don't get paid. We run. We get voted for, and then we get voted in. And then there are the block captains. So as far as the unity, we're all supposed to work together, hand in hand, along with the rec centers, to make things happen within our communities. Half of the committee people, you only see them on either election day to be paid, or maybe at some meetings. You don't see them around. You only see the real community activist committee people out here actually making things happen. Like, good example, before elections, both times during the year, in May and in November, I will give out candy, little bag candy to the children, but to reach the parents, to remind them to vote. It's little things. It takes us to give things to make things happen. But when you have lazy people, they only want to be paid or seen at certain times of the year. So that would be part of the problem. Then you have neighbors, again, who they don't want to come out, and they're stakeholders within their communities. They need to come out and make things happen.
Do you think that is maybe cliquish, like more so people are in these, I know I hate to put you in the spotlight like that, but
well, you know what?
Like, I mean, really think about it for real quick. Like, for example, say you have bingo night. Most of the people that know you, that support you, gonna come out. But because it's a community thing, you're doing it for everybody.
Right.
But because you're not part of that clique with certain individuals, they might not come out. But the bigger picture is the community. It's not about you, it's about the community.
You know what? It's funny you would bring that up because was it November 9th, we had a community meeting after a young person got shot 16 times in this area. He died. It was him and his twin sister. She didn't die. But I gave a community meeting, a call to action meeting. Now, I gotta admit, 70 people showed up for that meeting. But in the midst of the weeks leading up to the meeting, all you heard was, well, who is she? Why is she giving a meeting? You know, and I kept saying, I'm not giving the meeting. It's a community meeting. I need the community to come out. And in the end, it doesn't matter who gives the meeting, whether or not they have a title behind their name, whether or not the title lives directly in your community. I feel like they should still come out for the community meeting because they live in the community. Forget about the title that you carry, whether you're a sheriff, whether you're political on city council, you're still a person who lives in this community with your children who go to work every day, just like your community. So show up for the community meeting as a neighbor and not as a title that you feel like, oh, if I walk in, I'm going to be attacked. It has nothing to do with that. Show up just because it's the community. We're trying to get answers to all these shootings, trying to get answers to all of the programming for the children, to line it up for this winter and spring, to keep them off of the streets. But sometimes I say that it's not even the children. It's the age group of 23 to 31 that needs some, some structure.
Right. What you got?
And the
Jay?
rec
It's like-
centers don't want to, how can I put it? If you have this is a little off topic, but if you have a criminal record, they don't want you in a rec center. If you've been, locked up before, felon, whatever, they don't want you to volunteer in a rec center. So you're chasing the people away that could possibly help the other ones from going down that road. So who's really the problem? It's too many people saying, oh, well, the problem is this, the problem is that. But the real problem is when you have people who have misdemeanors and, F1 records, but it was years ago. Come on now. How long are you supposed to pay for a so-called mistake? How, like the rest of your life? Like they have children too. So if you have felons and misdemeanor people who have children and they can't come and volunteer at your local rec center or in your school because of the charges that you've had, and these are the ones who have gotten their lives together. So the problem would be politically, we're the problem because we're not allowing certain people to come in and help change the way things are. So they're getting worse.
Right. Before I go to my next, go ahead, Jay, because I know you thinking. I go ahead. You got it. Go
Well,
ahead. Look.
First of all, welcome and thank you for coming to our show and taking your time to share this wonderful information. You have a beautiful smile. So first of all, thank you so much. As you were speaking, my first thought was, I feel like we're so far off the path, we have to just go back to the very beginning. And is it possible, although it's going to take a lot of man hours, can we just go back to knocking on doors, like each individual door, to let people know that we are really out here for you? I know we're a community and we've forgotten that. However, with you being part of this, we're knocking on your door. So I'm just my brain. I'm wondering, like, if it's even 3 to 4 people that did that an hour a day and different block captains got together and began to do something like that, would that help? And then I was thinking about Kenyatta Johnson, because I thought he had some kind of initiative where it was like re-entry for people that had been in jail. However, I know a lot of funding was cut. And as you were speaking, I was wondering, was that one of the ones? Because I haven't heard about that in a minute. So my mind was just there for both of those thoughts.
Okay, I can address my actual city council person is Sherelle Parker. She does a lot in the 9th district. She really does. But when it comes to every day in the community with people going out to work and coming home, number one, half the people are scared. Number two, half of the programs, like you said, have been cut. The ones that are in a community aren't being utilized in a proper manner. You have some that are and some that aren't. You have crooked people in every part of life. There's no job without a crooked person. There's no community doing stuff without crooked people. So I understand that. But again, I believe that the real thing that's missing is, number one, the money, but we can't always blame it on the money because back then we didn't have the money. We didn't. I grew up in Nicetown. I used to go to a place called Mr. Simon's right there off of Gratz and Erie. We went in, We learned how to sew. We learned how to bake. We learned how to do, make a little lamp with electricity and just be proud while our parents were at work and nobody had to worry about us. We did double dutch. We did red light, green light, and hide and seek. What kids do you really see playing outside now? They don't go outside. It's video games, it's Facebook, it's all that. So we have to capture them in a different manner. So, and everybody keeps focusing, this is all Kelter again, everybody keeps focusing on going to college, but there are so many children who aren't college material. What are we doing with them? What are we doing with them? You're not offering anything for them. I believe that the school district, instead of giving these 11th and 12th graders class, I feel like class should stop at 10th grade and we should go into trade school at 11th and 12th grade, giving them some more options versus no options at all. Once they hit 18 and graduate, half of them either get kicked out of their, homes because they're like, oh, I'm grown or I'm leaving or whatever, without a plan. They have no plan, have no financial plan because the school isn't teaching it in certain neighborhoods. So therefore, we're at a battle, whether or not it's city council or the mayor or Krasner or whoever. Somebody has got to eventually do something, especially before we go into the new year and come into a new spring. Because
let me chime in. Hey, Miss Angela, it's wonderful to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Oh, I ain't gonna say old because open conversation ain't never been old, but it's great to see you and thank you for coming. Like Ms. J. Monet said, thank you for being our guest for this evening. I was listening. Programs, we can't, like you said, let's not blame it on the money. It's never been a money.
Right.
What happened to that Miss Gladys, Mr. Leroy type attitude where he was the community? He worked at the church.
I wrote an etiquette book on that, but yeah.
He worked at the church. He worked at the after school program. There was crossing guards who you knew your name. That was the community. That was the village. Those were the people that helped raise us. The initiative starts in the home. I think nowadays we are leaving too much in the school district's hands to raise our kids. And the parents, by working and listen, you got to pay your bills. They're falling short. So where does the transition part take? Because if they're not saying it's the school, then they want to say church, then they want to say it's the community. In all those things, the community, the church, and the school, it still lies that one human, and they partake on all of those. The recreation center. When do we put the earnestness back on the family, the household?
That's what it should be. It should be. But when you have families working so many jobs without the proper places to put your children, the children are then raising themselves. So there have been times in a rec center where there are certain kids who are there all day long, and if they're not in the building, they're out on the playground until their parents get home. There's no adequate places for them to go. Like daycare centers cost a fortune, and you can't blame them. They got your kid from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or sometimes longer. Then you have the ones who can't go to daycare or whatever because they're like 13-ish. They can't get a summer job. They can't get a city job because they're too young. So you have that age group going crazy. And then you have the ones who can get a job, but because it doesn't pay enough money, they're not with it. So where does it lie? Like you have parents working 2 and 3 jobs to make it.
Do city jobs for kids, remember what we should call them? Work ready, work study?
Work ready. Mm-hmm.
Do they still exist?
Yeah, they do. They really do. And they try to place the children in like they try to give a lot of children jobs, even if they don't have the space. But again, like I said, the money sometimes, it just isn't enough for some of them. So of course, we still end up losing them in the process. Because like you just said, like the parents, I feel like most of it is the parents. You can get parents to line up for number 1, free food, number 2, the club, Number 3, the bar and all that kind of stuff. But when it's report card night, you don't see them. So that's where majority of the blame is going to lie. Even with the after school programs, it's not the after school program's job to do your children's homework. It's your job to sit down with your child, make that time to make sure they're educated and help out. The after school program is really just there to kind of monitor them on doing their homework, help them if they have questions. But again, most parents are like, well, my kid was with you until 6 o'clock. All their homework should be done. Okay, but we can't make them do their homework. And if you can't make them do their homework, then there lies the real problem. And some parents need to think about home before, I'm not going to say work like that, but I know there were plenty of times where I had to switch occupations because I had to make sure that home was taken care of. Sometimes we got to do what we got to do. And then they've taken, not to bring this is a whole nother story, but they've taken church out of everything. So these children out here now, they don't even fear anything. They don't fear their parents. They don't fear God. So they're just roaming around. Like there were kids the other day from Grover, Washington. They're trying to break into a car in the driveway. You can't even say, excuse me, don't do that, because then it's, now you're in an argument with a child. Now they're coming to attack you. And now I possibly have to get ready to catch a case on your child. And I don't want to do that. But then you end up arguing with the parents. And that's why people don't say anything to children anymore, because children are no longer children. They're wild. And then these parents,
the parent going to support their moves. The parent going to get mad at you for you trying to look out for their child.
And that's crazy. I just wrote a joke about that the other day. How used to say, go get your mama. You only have to say that now. You just had to tell the kids squared up.
exactly.
No, you got to tell the kids, don't go get your gun.
Thank you. And that's the problem. Yes, it's like most of the city leaders and the community leaders are possibly afraid to step up. I'm not gonna lie. But you have some that are afraid to even speak out because of that. Just what Mark said, they'll go get a gun now. Before, we didn't have access to guns like that. We didn't. You know, this world now has really changed between COVID. And look, this is how smart children are. They're going to school now saying, oh, I think I got COVID. So now they're just sending them home and saying, oh, your kid got to get a note and come back with a negative result to be in school. So these children, they aren't stupid. They're playing a game all the way around. We just live in a dangerous society right now, and it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't.
So let me ask you, with the community, the politicians, the community, the block captains and all that, because of, and I think I could say this, because of we're not together, do you feel as though that is even worse than if everybody was to get together and really start moving together as a team, as a community, as I should say, things can get better? That could be the change of everything that's going on.
It can. And then another thing is the fact that you figure the rec centers, to me personally, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but to me, they're political. So you have the rec centers that are run by the city council and stuff. And then you have ward leaders who are on city council. It's like everything is all controlling. And it all comes down to, again, I can't repeat this enough, comes down to the votes. If we can't get people out to vote to make change, if you see the same things happening in your community, why in the world are you voting the same person back in? That's what it all really boils down to. Why are you voting no change back in? And that's not just one neighborhood, it's across the city. So
I'm gonna say something, man. I know I'm not to cut you off, because I had to say this while it's on my head. And I know people gonna hate me for this. They gonna, but I truly don't care. I'm not politically connected to anybody, so some shit I can say and I ain't gotta worry about nobody. But what it comes down to is this. It's like Jay-Z, and I hate to use him as example, it's like Jay-Z calling women bitches and hoes and tricks, but everybody still go buy his album. We don't have
Okay.
we scared to make a move and not knowing that we have the most power as people.
We do, but come on, Mark, let's keep it real. There are a lot of bitches and hoes in real life out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I know for myself, I'm not a bitch. I'm not a hoe. You know, I hold value to my name and who I am. But we see so much of it on Facebook, on social media, all over the place. You see the bitches, the hoes, and the, you know, and whatever. So how do we get that out of not only Jay-Z, but our own children's minds? Like, how do you? Like, they all know, it's like they all know what a bitch and a hoe is. So my son knew what a brothel was before I did. I was like, oh, what? You know, like, come on now. And he was young. He was in 5th grade. I was like, where did you learn that from? School.
So what do we do? That's the thing right there. And that's why I brought that up, to bring up that type of dialogue. Like, what do we do? Do we just let things keep going downhill? Or do we, like, how do we reprogram the system? Put it that way.
How can I put this? All right. One way would be, again, to vote, because, and then as a community, people should ask themselves, why is it that certain communities don't have our problems? And I don't mean to say it like that, but it's the truth. Why does this community have a textbook or computers from 5-6 years ago, and another community has the brand new textbooks and brand new computers when we all pay the same tax dollars? That's where our problem lies. So it's actually bigger than us, and that's the problem. But again, certain communities don't come out and complain about it, and certain communities keep voting the same people back in, you know, for a free turkey every year. And we need to get better. We need to want better for ourselves. You know, forget about the turkeys. Knock on their doors and say, I want my children to have the same new computers as this school that's, you know, over in this neighborhood. You know, it's us as a whole. We have to want to stick together and make and accept change. But until people want change in their communities, they're going to keep accepting the same things. Like, why does your kid have a broken computer at a rec center in one neighborhood, but have a brand new computer in another rec center at another neighborhood? When, again, here we go, it's the same tax dollars. So that would be the problem.
Right. That's true. Mr. Fazlane,
why you gotta run out and buy your child a $1,000 laptop, which some of them do, when it should be at the rec center for them to utilize? The same thing.
Right. Go ahead, Mr.
So
Fazlane.
actually, it comes down to, again, political. It comes down to people's political choices and community leaders who need to step up. Because like I always say, if you don't see a leader, the next leader is you. So if you don't see me out there sweeping, then you get out there and pick up a broom. You should need someone to tell you to come and sweep or clean up your block, or help clean up your community. It takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to keep the village going. It can't just be part, but one can start it. One person can make change. Don't let it get twisted.
I totally agree. And as she said, it's all begins and it ends with politics. This is all political right now. And as I stated last week, I'll state it again for those that missed it. You have a lot of people who get in office because they run on a Democratic ticket, but they may run on a Democratic ticket, but they have a Republican mindset. And they're not concerned about what happens in our community, because what happens in our community does not affect their community.
Exactly.
So if you get rid of our community, and then it gives them what they want. As you can see, all the gentrification that's going across this city of Philadelphia, it's a plan to all of that.
Yes,
you think them people, they moving people out, they cut programs. They did so many things, but yet it's so much money missing.
Exactly.
They have money allocated for these programs, but where is it? But we vote for people because they run as Democrats. Until we start changing our mindset and start doing our homework, then we're going to continue to get screwed in our community the way we have been for the last several years. This ain't just started. They stopped them programs a long time ago. When we were kids, they started cutting them programs.
Exactly.
So they cut them and they just continued to cut. You know why? Because nobody said nothing.
Exactly.
Nobody said anything. Because nobody took the time enough to care. As we got older, we developed our own lives, and it was just like, okay, well, this is my life. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I'm past that. But we still have generations coming behind us. And if we don't address it at some point, when will it get addressed? We can't say the murder rate is too high, but we're not doing anything to make the change. We keep putting, the district attorney just came out and said Philadelphia doesn't have a crime problem. We got over 530 people that got murdered this year, as of today. But we don't have a crime problem. But guess what? When it came down for the election, not only did people vote for him once, they voted for him twice. Twice. But not one time did you see a commercial stating what he was going to do to combat crime.
No.
Nothing. They didn't do anything. They wasn't concerned. Not one time did you hear the mayor talking about what he was going to do to change what's going on in the city. No. He just ran because he knew he was going to win because he's Democrat. And Democrats are not going to cross that line because they would get blackballed. So they stay in line, they just fall in line and say, just let it happen. Because there's nothing I could do. Because they're concerned about what's going to happen with their position, that they don't want to speak out against what's really going on. I had a meeting, I had a conversation about 3 weeks ago with a guy that works down at the first judicial district of Philadelphia. For those that know, that's the courts.
Right.
Me and this guy had a conversation about this exact topic. And he said to me, he said, you know what? They don't know what to do. They can't stop what's going on. So the only thing that they can do at this point is they're going to let us kill each other. Because the only thing that they're concerned about is taking over Philadelphia.
Right.
They want Philadelphia like they did Los Angeles. If you go to LA is a beautiful city. But you will see a lot of minorities that are homeless because they made the property value so high that people could not afford to live there. What do you think is happening in the city of Philadelphia? Houses in North Philadelphia going for 500,000? This is North Philly. It didn't change. They didn't lift it up off the map and put something new there. It's North Philly. They're doing the same thing with Kensington, with Southwest Philly, with West Philly, with South Philly. They're doing it all over the city.
Yep.
And the only thing that you heard the mayor say was they're trying to take back Kensington. You know why? Because they done built some $500,000 condos down there.
Exactly.
And if you walk 2 blocks, you walking into Zombie City. But if you walk 2 blocks this way, it look nice and ritzy. Don't be fooled by the smoke and mirrors, because there's a lot of it out there and they selling it. But until we change our mindset and start doing our homework, we're going to continue to go through the same foolishness that we've been going through. People haven't opened their eyes, and that's it.
Yeah, but it's sad because if they don't open their eyes, then our grandchildren, they're going to be at the wrath of it. And that's the sad part.
Exactly.
So we need us, not only us to speak up, but prayerfully our children in their age groups to save their children's generation.
Exactly. And you see,
But again, somebody like you and me and Mark really should be running for office. Like, that's what I keep telling people. If you don't see the next leader, it's you. Jump up and go do it. Forget about somebody telling you you need 30,000 to get on a ballot. Believe in the people. Believe in the voice of the people. Because if you get enough people to follow you, you can beat anybody on that ballot, with or without money. It can happen.
and you see what they did with the police department. They don't want the police department doing anything. So when the police responds to situations now, if it ain't somebody's dying, they're not doing anything. They don't come out to car accidents. They don't come out for domestic violence issues unless somebody's really been hurt. They don't deal with anything. And if they do come out, they're going to ask you, well, do you really need us? And if you don't, if you say no, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to get in their car, they're going to leave, and they're going to tell you, well, call us when you need us. Because when it goes down to the courthouse, you got people that call the cops. Now the cops get there and they take action, but these same people that called the cops now go to the court and testify against the cops. Well, they didn't have to do that, but they don't go to court and testify against the person that did harm to them. All of a sudden, that person is the love of their life. So even the police don't want to get involved.
I agree. But in the end, it's like you said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
What you got, Jay?
Just taking it in. It's some very good valid points all the way through. Some very valid points all the way through.
Yeah, it's sad.
It really
sad.
It's sad.
Because it's like we have these discussions, and I watch different discussions on TV and radio, and it's no one can come up with a solid solution on different things that's going on. We have these things that we can do, but then say if Mr. Fastlane run for mayor, then because he's not popular, or he's not, and there's nothing against nobody, he's not in the what do they call it? The clique, or the homosexual type clique, or you ain't in that type of group, then you don't get those votes. I mean, it's just like, it is what it is. I mean, I don't judge anybody for their sexual choices, but if you're not that type of person, like our mayor, then you don't get that push. And he might be the cure to everything that's happening as far as the crime and everything, because he has the solution, but y'all won't give the people that's like that's not into that opportunity. So it's deep. Assembly D, is you there? I know he's out and about running around. I don't know if he got any input that he want to jump on here and say before we close out. So what you have before we close out, Dark, you got anything? I know you there. I know everybody listening, but they ain't in front of the screen before we close out. But the whole thing is, I think, it's a sad situation. What's your closing words, Dark?
Listen, all I have to say is people need to learn to band together. Thank you, Angie, for always coming. You're always strong. I love to see the positive, strong Black women in our community. I love for y'all. You always come and you always bring the knowledge. Community needs to get back. Voting, they say change. I'll hold to my view. That's another show. All I'm saying is you got to be the change that you want to see.
Exactly.
Jay, what's your last words?
Reach one, teach one. I feel as though just as we can knock on those doors to get those votes, you got to get back in the streets. We went to the community because it became so many of us that we wanted to talk to. Now we got to backtrack. It's the community, we got to rebuild it. So we got to get back out there. And again, with the hours and all of that of knocking on somebody's door and trying to get them to sign for this person, it's the same thing. We got to go and knock on these doors and find out what they need. And again, 75% of the people probably won't tell you a darn thing, probably got their doors shut, but it may be 25% of the people that will, and they'll open up and they'll appreciate it and they'll share. So reach one, teach one. Like, you got to remove yourself out of it and see the needs of others. You know, forget what you have, understand where we come from, and everyone needs a helping hand, and we got to be that hand. It's not a whole lot to that. However, I definitely appreciate you coming out. I appreciate you talking to us. I feel definitely encouraged. It was a smack in the face because it's like, you know, these things, you hear these things. However, when you really hear them and we take time to listen, it really makes us decide we need to make a change and make things better. So I appreciate you. Anything I can be a part of that you're building in the community, please look me up and I'm there.
I sure
Thank you
will.
again for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Fastlane?
Well, as they both say, to reach one, to teach one, you got to reach one. And
Mhm.
be the change you want to see in the world. At the end of the day, it really falls on our shoulders. When you look around this world, you say, who's going to be the next Martin Luther King? Who's going to be the next Malcolm X? Who's going to be that next person that we can lean on? It could be any one of us, but it'd be none of us if we don't ever speak up. We have some very intelligent people in our community, very intelligent. And we got some people that really know what's going on in this community. But some people have been muffled behind their own personal gain. So they won't speak up.
Right.
But we can't keep saying, when is this violence going to stop? We can't keep saying, when is things going to change? But yet we're doing what everybody else is doing, just sitting there and watching. We have to be the change that we want to see in this world.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this world is going to crumble to pieces. And before you know it, hell, 50 years from now, our grandchildren may be enslaved somewhere because we let it get that far. Don't think it can't happen, because it can happen.
I got a text message I'm gonna read real quick, because they had to jump off the live, but they text me. They said, education is the key. Can't blame only people in the city. The history has basically had violence forever. What has to happen is we have to basically educate our children and try to grab them and teach them as much as we can possible. Then it says that whoever says that the violence isn't worse simply doesn't have a clue. Kids are more bolder now than we or any other children in history has been. So we have to, it falls on the police, it falls on government, it falls on parents, it falls on everybody. And when everybody is willing to take their responsibility for their actions and their purpose on helping it become a better planet, then things will get better. But we have to, one, this is me now. For one, we have to stop pointing a finger at everybody else and trying to blame everybody else. Two, we got to get these damn crooks out of City Hall and all over the place that's just not worried about nothing but their reputation and money and feel as though they got the power to do stuff. And they always sweeping stuff under the rug. And then they go out to their suburban houses where, since you didn't say it, but you were saying it around about, where they go to their suburban houses like Glenside, Willow Grove, where the school districts get new books every year. But then when you come back to the city to run your office and to run your store and to have your business and take our money and then take it back out to pay the taxes where you live at, where it's nice. That's the part that we got to start paying attention to. And I think this is my opinion, one of the things I think that's a problem is that African Americans have to learn how to do business and support each other as far as their business so we can keep the money within the community. Take it back to where the businesses used to invest into different school little projects and different things and stuff like that to help, instead of just taking the money and running. And somebody, I think, brought it up on our last open conversation show, how they said that the dollar, our black dollar, don't go around. What is it? How did you word it? I think you said it, Mr. Fastlane, that our dollar don't stay in our community one time or something like that. It goes out.
That wasn't me. I ain't that intelligent.
Somebody basically, we don't spend our money in our own community. You know, when we get our money, we spend it to the other individuals and it leaves our community. It don't recirculate in our community.
Right.
So we have to learn how to reinvest into ourselves and do for ourselves And it's not, and I noticed that we get point the finger that, oh, it's always black this, black that, black this. Well, we have to take care of ourselves before we can help anybody else. That's just what it is. They say, oh, black lives, all lives matter. No, it's not that all lives don't matter. It's just that we're black. So we have to focus on us, and then we can basically help everybody.
Right.
But see, and again, this is my opinion, to us, we don't want y'all to focus on y'all because y'all help us make the money we make. So if y'all stop going to prison, y'all stop buying these Jordans and all this other stuff and sweatsuits and spending y'all money, and y'all educate yourselves, y'all gonna hurt our pocket. So we don't want y'all to focus on that. So
I agree.
on that note, Angela, what you got going on before we end the show? Tell us a little bit about, I know you dropped your books and you got different things going on. And then we
I
wrap
done
up.
dropped Delusional Jealousy. This is one of them. And did you even read yours yet?
How you gonna put me on the spot like that, live on the
You're
radio?
guilty. And the comedian, look who's laughing now. Yeah. My campaign is actually Choose Your Poison, meaning choose your book, because they're both about two different crazy past relationships. And of course, I embellished a little bit in them because I'm a writer, so that's what happens. But other than that, I have a event on December the 18th at Sturgis Playground. We'll be giving away coats, scarf, gloves, and hats for the children. Anybody who want to sign up or register, they can do it on Eventbrite under Sturgis holiday event. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
All right. On
that's
that,
it for now.
Coming out and get so
Okay. All right, then.
you're not too far from us, but thank you for always being a great. You always come here and bless us with your knowledge. You always are a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest. And thank you for bringing the knowledge. It's always positive to see a strong Black woman. You've been listening to, the time is now 7:17. You have been listening to another edition of Open Conversation. Sador Presents. We appreciate you. Mark 5, closing words. Let me give you mine. Yo, this is your girl, Dark Child. Like she said, our host said, my words for this week is be the change that you want to see. And you know what all I always say? Not all who wander is lost.
that's true. And on that note, we're gonna close out. Much love to everybody. Be safe.
All right.
Enjoy your day. I'll see y'all next Thursday here on Sador Presents Open Conversation Show, the station that's more than music, Sador Radio. Peace.
Peace.
Mm.